What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Don't Forget About Me, the Supernova version, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, so as you can see over the weekend, due to the escalation in geopolitical tensions, especially in the conflict that's going on, or conflicts, I should say, that are going on in the Middle East and I guess around the world, really, crypto and Bitcoin and crypto markets have taken a little bit of a dump. Bitcoin is actually once again below 100K. It's hanging around in the 99K range. I have not seen it go below that, but again, anything is really possible. But keep in mind, this is all happening over a weekend, so the only things that are trading 24/7 is Bitcoin and crypto. We'll have to wait and see what the stock markets look like once they start opening up after the weekend is over. But all that being said, why am I bringing this up? I wanted to take a quick look at where we are at and what this lull is going to continue to look like if we stay in this weird kind of holding pattern. Because I think many people believe, at least I do, and again, I've been wrong many, many times before, so, don't take this all with a grain of salt. This is not financial advice. Many people believe, myself included, that this Bitcoin bull run cycle, right, outside of any other factors that weigh into this, is not quite done yet. We never really hit that hype and mania phase. We never got into euphoria, and there's still a little bit of time left, right? There's still the second half of 2025 where we could be in that kind of banana zone time frame, the 12 to 18 months post halving, right? I guess that goes into October, November time range, but regardless, that being said, Splinterlands is going to need to learn how to operate on its own in order to not just survive, but thrive in the long run, despite what's going to happen in crypto markets, even though we know we are very much dependent on those. So as we take a look here, you can see that SPS has retraced significantly since it was a penny. And what's interesting is that it has retraced a lot more than DEC. So that, to me, is a very good sign. There's a silver lining there about DEC, that it's not retracing in the same way that SPS is, because we obviously have a little bit more demand, and there's not this oversupply, nor are we minting a ton of DEC from all the external faucets that we used to have in the past. Now it is simply just people could still be burning cards if they wanted to, but primarily it is just SPS, right? And obviously we love to see SPS get burned. So with SPS down now to 3/4 of a penny, you got DEC staying above 900 Splintoshis. Again, I don't know if it'll stay above that range. It would be nice if it would, although that does create buying opportunities for many people to go and get packs for cheap. Again, not financial advice. I'm not saying that, go buy DEC because it's going to go back up to peg. I mean, hopefully it will. Ideally, the team's going to do everything they can, but it could create this kind of like 10%, or it essentially has this 10% discount right now on packs. But the number that I want to focus on is down here, the company's DEC. And like I said, my only disclaimer is that I know that some of this data is not as accurate, particularly the land one, but I do believe what we've seen in terms of the company while it's being tracked, this has been relatively consistent, right? I've seen this come down from 370 to 360, now 359 over the past couple of days. And then all throughout the past, we'll call it 8 months, or we'll say since like September of last year, so 9 months, we've been using this, the data here to kind of follow when the team was running low and when they would need to go and buy DEC for the marketplace, and what that essentially did to the price of DEC over these past 9 months, and then ultimately then starting to buy SPS and burn it for DEC. So here's the thing. If we take a look at this and we continue the same run rate, if that run rate is going to be, be consistent with what we've seen since that time frame, is roughly 40 million DEC on average per week. So you got 360 million DEC right now, and so therefore the question then becomes, okay, if we're going to be in this lull phase, but we continue a steady supply of credits coming in. And sure, some of that's going to get recirculated. Some of that is going to be Team DEC that's recirculated back into the ecosystem and yada, yada, yada. But either way, right, if we see that continue to come through, obviously the team will be getting a good portion of that. But it's about 9 weeks, okay? We're sitting here in the final week of June, which puts us pretty much through the rest of the summer, right? 4 weeks in July, another 4 weeks in August, right? Plus the 1 week here in June gets us to September, or the September timeframe, in which the company would finally run out of DEC and have to go to the marketplace. Now, if all of those credits coming in were primarily buying packs, well, then, of course, the team would be recirculating some of that DEC, or they'd be getting some DEC to kind of fill their coffers, which could extend that out further. But again, I'm just saying, like, September would be the rough time frame that we would be looking at. So if you're wondering how long this lull could potentially last, especially with all the geopolitical stuff going on, if the market stays slow, Bitcoin decides to just be boring for another couple of months, that is where we could end up, right? With just straight choppiness, a hell of a lot of uncertainty, both in crypto, Bitcoin, as well as macro markets with everything that's going on around the world. But that does kind of sum up, or give us a time frame for when it would be until the team would have to go to the market and start buying DEC off the marketplace, or, as we would hope, start buying SPS off the marketplace to burn for DEC. And I think that could actually be even a little bit further out, because as you can see here with DEC, 10% below its peg value, the team would be going to buy DEC off the marketplace first, and then would need that steady stream of credits coming in and not refilling with DEC, although if it does for packs, that's only half the value, right? So again, it could be even further out than that, right? September would be like the roughly earliest time frame we would see, again, barring anything else happening, right? I'm just talking about if we stay in this weird choppy zone of uncertainty, that is what my kind of timeline is looking at. So, summer of Splinterlands, there's still going to be a lot of games played. I'm sure the team has a lot of exciting stuff up their sleeves. But when you just look at this strictly from the economic side and what we've seen in terms of the credits that have come in on average per week, that is the rough time frame, and that's kind of what I wanted to discuss here. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you seeing anything different? Again, I haven't really checked this, but maybe I'll start going through some past videos and keeping track of where the company DEC is at, so we can see if there's an updated amount of credits that are coming in. I'm still just using that 40 million, and again, like I said, I've seen it continue to trickle down, which is great. But obviously, the company keeps refilling their coffers every time somebody comes in with credits and buys packs, right? From not from the market, but from the store itself. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.